Hello everyone, and welcome to Com's Getting Coffee. It is a podcast series created through BU's The COMmunicator. My name's Allie Silcoff. I'm a junior here at BU, and I'm a staff writer on The COMmunicator. And basically, this podcast is just designed to get listeners a better glimpse into the type of students we have at BU College of Communication in a fun way through sitting down with someone and sharing a cup of coffee with them at different coffee shops across the city of Boston. So my first guest is my friend. Her name is Gabby Schmidt. She is, of course, a student at Com. Before I introduce Gabby and start talking to her, I'm going to let everyone know what coffee shop we're at. So we're at Farmer Horse Coffee. It is in the South End. I believe it is on 374 Mass Ave. It's a really small, quaint little coffee shop. It's near Northeastern, so there's a lot of students here and a lot of studying going on, and they have really cute outdoor spaces where Gabby and I are right now. So without further ado, I'm going to hand the floor over to Gabby and just ask her a few questions to introduce herself and tell us about herself. So Gabby, why don't you tell us what year you are, your major, where you're from?
Hi everyone, I'm Gabby. I'm a communications media science major and a political science major. I'm from San Francisco, California, and I'm a junior. That's the other thing. Everyone's like, what did she ask?
What is she asking? So you're a dual degree major. Is that stressful? Tell us about what that's like.
It is kind of hard, but political science, I really find it's fun to do that homework, so I don't really consider, and it's fun to do the media science homework, so I don't really consider it like an extra thing. It's just like two majors that are going to really help my future and that I'm actually really interested in, so I don't really consider it like a big workload because I really like doing it. So.
And I think you're really lucky because, well, I know Gabby from a bunch of classes I've taken with her at Com. Throughout our 3 years together, and we're also in a political campaigns class right now, CM535.
Love that class.
Highly recommend that class, but it's great for someone like Gabby who's already a political science major because they just mesh very well together, and it's a really good combination of two different things you're really passionate about in two different schools at BU.
Yeah, and I don't think poli-sci, the major in CAS, has a political campaigns class, so I'm so happy. This class has been awesome.
And how have you, as a poli-sci major, taken this class during an election in the U.S.? How has everything been for you?
Our teacher has been so great. I think it's really interesting. I'm loving it, and it's fun to build on knowledge I already had about political campaigns. And our teacher has been really helping me out because he worked on campaigns, so he's been kind of giving me tips and getting me in touch with people. So that's been really cool to find something I'm passionate about that I never thought I would find in Com. I never knew I would find so many political campaigns networks in Com. I always thought it would be poli-sci, but then look at me now.
Yeah, and I mean BU Com has so many great connections, and BU's known for its alumni network, so of course
Steve Kornacki.
Yeah, crazy. Gabby's a huge Steve Kornacki fan. So why did you decide to pursue political science and media science? Why is that your major of choice?
I always knew I wanted to do political science because I see a lot of injustices in our communities and a lot of people who are being left behind by the government, and I think that it's the government's job to not leave those communities behind. And so a big reason I wanted to get into poli-sci was to be able to find a way to break into the either federal departments and just find a way to make changes to not leave communities in our country behind. And then I think I added media science when I came to BU because I was poli-sci is really great and I love it, but I think you need to add something more to that major. And I think especially in the digital age, having a media science background, because I've learned this with working with political campaigns in the Biden election, was that there's so many digital media people and media people, and that's such a big thing to have on your resume that you have a major in communications, and media science sounds really whoa.
It sounds
a lot. It sounds media science.
Yeah.
STEM? No, I'm kidding. But it's really helpful, I think, for the future. So
you've been telling me that long term you want to pursue some sort of career in the political capacity.
Yeah.
How has the courses at BU and through Com and through CAS prepared you for that?
I think comm specifically has really given me a lot of like writing skills, grammar, just like overall like important life skills that I think you might have learned like basic in high school. You thought, oh, I don't need to brush up my writing. I don't need to know like press releases and all that stuff, especially as like a media science major. But I think like learning how to do all that stuff and just having knowledge of it is going to help me so much into the future. Like the foundation that comm gives you, especially with my double major, is really going to help me out, and I think it's going to help every comm student out because you can do so much with the comm degree. There's an endless opportunity of fields you can go into, which is why I think comm is so special, and the classes in comm are so great because I actually feel here.
Exactly, and that's a perfect segue for my next question, which is, what is or has been your favorite class that you've taken at comm so far?
Okay, well, obviously, if you were listening to the rest of the podcast, the political campaigns class has been my favorite. But I mean, if we're taking that away because like that's obvious, I think I really liked my CM 211 class because I met Allie. I like 331. It was really hard. That was a hard class for me, but I learned so much. Like what did we do? Press releases.
We did press releases.
Journals, op-eds. We did all the stuff.
Yeah,
Anything under the sun, we did it all. And wow.
It's definitely a good, like, all-encompassing class.
Yeah. And I'm never going to take a PR or an ad class, so that's just not on the cards for me. So, like, it was nice to get that little background.
Yeah, it was, like, a nice little taste of every different component of communication. And that's why I think it's, because I'm also a media science major like Gabby, that's why I love comm, specifically our degree, because it's so all-encompassing, and it gives you so many different opportunities to take different classes that touch on all the different compartments of comm, and like advertising, PR, the law behind comm, health campaigns, media campaigns. So it's just like a really great mix. But
generally the teachers are also really good.
Also,
I mean, that's a BU thing. I think generally BU teachers are good, but in comm they're good.
Yeah, I 100% agree, and I find that like a lot of the teachers I've had in comm, I've maintained really good relationships with. When you are overwhelmed with work, where do you go and study on campus? Pre-COVID and currently in the COVID situation.
Pre-COVID, I literally lived in Mugar.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We would see each other in Mugar all the time.
There were so many times, like this COVID time, there's so many times where it's been like 10 p.m. and I'm like, what I would give to go to Mugar right now and do like, I would give so much. Also, now post-COVID, now that I'm at Farmer House Coffee, I would definitely come back here. It is so cute. I really like it here.
Yeah, Gabby and I are sitting in we're sitting outside because COVID, and it's like they look like these little like greenhouse
they're like pods.
They're like little pods, and they have a desk, and there's a little space heater you can turn on, and you can like zip the door shut, and it's a really great quiet place to study. But yeah, like
or pavement, sorry.
Or pavement. Yeah, pavement is great.
Iconic.
So where do you study now? Other than like potentially here in the future.
My house, unfortunately. It's just so much easier. And I live in Alston, so there's not a lot of like nice places to go to.
And I love just trying new places in the city. And I think it's a great place to study and to meet people, especially during COVID because most of the students' classes are online, and it's hard to have that separation between like your place of home and your place of work, because everyone's taking classes like in their bed or in their kitchen. Going out to a coffee shop, especially in Boston, where you're among other students, is really nice change of scene.
Especially this one in the pod.
Especially this one. This one's great. Huge fan of this little coffee shop. Okay, so outside of like academics, tell us a little bit what you like to do in your free time.
I'm on the Boston University sailing team. We haven't been doing a ton, obviously, this semester, but we've been working out, but I'm usually on that team six days a week for practicing and racing. And then I'm also on the executive committee of the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for the New England Interscholastic Sailing Association. And so we've been doing a lot of stuff, like trying to get sailing teams, like, learning about equity, inclusion, and diversity. Hence the name, obviously. And then I'm also was doing a lot of volunteering with the Biden campaign, and then hoping to do that with the runoff in Georgia, which I'm excited about. So That's pretty much. I guess I work out. I'm on a fitness journey.
100% support that. As you know, I'm a big workout person too. In another article I wrote for the BU COMmunicator, shameless plug in this podcast if you want to read it.
Yeah.
But I talk about the importance of like working out in terms of mental health and how that's helped me deal with a lot of my mental health struggles throughout my life, but also especially during COVID when I've experienced so much more anxiety.
Yeah.
Being able to work out, especially in places that are COVID friendly, like outside or even like in a dorm room or in my apartment, has really been helpful. So I get the fitness journey and I support it. So we're just going to take a little break from the content and ask, obviously this is about like getting to know BU communicators, but it's also about some coffee. So just wanted to ask what your coffee order was, Gabby.
I got a hot coffee with milk. I usually get iced coffee, but it's cold.
Apparently there's like this New England thing where if you're a true New Englander, you have like an iced coffee all year round, even when it's cold. I didn't know that, and I'm obviously not from New England.
I'm very proud of being from California.
Yeah, I'm from Toronto, Canada, so I'm used to the cold, and I'm used to I always have iced coffee all year round, but I like my coffee strong, so I got an iced latte with 4 shots of espresso.
You got 4 shots?
I do 4 shots.
Oh my god.
I do
4?
Yep, right there. We got 4 shots. Yeah, it's crazy because like I don't even feel.
So what's your usual?
That is my usual.
Oh god.
Yeah,
you're gonna have a heart attack like tomorrow.
I know. So I don't know. I don't feel the caffeine. I just like the taste of like darker coffee.
Because you have a tolerance because you get an iced latte with 4 shots of espresso.
I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. Everyone has that reaction when I
Oh my god. That's why you don't have. Oh my god. You need to take a hike.
The great thing about this coffee shop is it's usually very quiet, so it's a great place to work. But they also, because it's in the Northeastern, they have, I believe they have a student discount. I think it's 10% off for your cup of coffee. And if you ask at the front, there's like a little punch card. And I think if you have 9 coffees, you get your 10th free.
Since this is your first podcast, I'm not going to say #no free ads.
#no free ads. But Farmer Horse Coffee, please sponsor me because I come here all the time and I love it here. And
she has a usual
I'm a regular.
order.
She's like, you want your usual? I'm like, yes.
I also got a breakfast sandwich.
Oh yes. Also, what's really good about this coffee shop, I keep on advertising it because this is part of the podcast, but they're open for really long hours. So most coffee shops since COVID has started, like I know the Pavements close at like 2 p.m.
I know, it's rude.
Which is crazy, especially if you have classes, because
I'm trying to stay up late.
or you're trying to stay up late and you need a cup of coffee to energize you. They close, I think they're open here at 6 a.m. and close at like 8 p.m. every day.
This place?
This place.
Damn.
So if you need a late night cup of coffee. Also, going back to Gabby's involvement at BU. Gabby's also in a sorority and recently got a new position in the sorority, which is super exciting.
President of New Member Education.
What sorority are you in, Gabby?
Sigma Delta Tau. I joined my freshman year. You know what? I never thought I'd be in Greek life. I'm a fan at BU.
Yeah.
Because I said earlier, I'm on this team, a sports team, so like my whole life became my like sports team, and I was like, oh no, need more friends.
And you did like it's nice to have like a balance. So Gabby, why don't you tell us what comm classes you're currently taking and what you're planning on taking in the spring semester?
Ooh, okay. I'm currently taking CM 211, which is professional presentations. That's a good class. And then I'm in political campaigns with Berkovitz. Love him. He's great. Love
He's
him.
also very passionate about what he's teaching.
Very knowledgeable. Knows all the people. And then I'm also in I'm in CM 180.
Oh right, I took that class. Amazine.
Mm-hmm.
And what are you taking or planning on taking in the spring, pending you get into the classes you need?
Health campaigns and media law and policy. I was going to take persuasion theory, but it's 8 a.m. and that is just not my vibe.
Okay, so that's the end of episode 1 of Comms Getting Coffee. It was really fun. I had a really great time recording with you, Gabby.
I had a great time. I gotta be honest, I had a great time.
Always fun.
We're in a great coffee shop.
Always great company. Always love good coffee. And so that was episode 1. I hope everyone listening enjoyed it. Hopefully there will be some more content coming your way. which I hope to get out to you guys in the spring semester, where I plan on interviewing more of BU's College of Communication comm students to kind of give you a glimpse into what other BU students are doing, what they're involved in on campus, what they're passionate about, and engaging in that conversation over a delicious cup of coffee somewhere new in the Boston area next episode. So thank you to everyone for tuning in and for listening, and I hope you enjoy the episode and that you have a great day. Bye everyone.